Will an admitted killer soon leave a mental facility? Front page news of the Oklahoman on Thursday. I'm Dave Morris, joined by Nolan Clay, the reporter covering this story. We're talking about Jerrod Murray. And Nolan, I'll let you set this up with the background of Jerrod Murray's case.
Well, he killed a fellow student at East Central University in Ada, shot him for no reason, said he was fulfilling fate. This was in 2012. His case was filed in Pottawatomie County because that's where they had driven to when the shooting took place. And it dragged on for a couple of years, but eventually he was found not guilty by reason of insanity, which is pretty rare. But both the prosecution expert and the defense expert agreed he was unable to distinguish between right and wrong at the time of the fatal shooting. So off he went to the Oklahoma Forensic Center in Bonita, which is the state facility for offenders who are found not guilty by reason of insanity.
And he was sent there in August, according to the story I'm reading that you have today. And prosecutors, as you say, expected Murray would spend the rest of his life, or decades, if not the rest of his life there. However, there's a new turn to this story, as you found out.
Well, it's mandatory that the judge gets a couple of reports from experts there at the Forensic Center on the guy's current mental state to see if he needs treatment and if he's a danger to the public or society. And one expert, a psychologist, said, hey, I don't see signs of mental illness.
And this is Peter Rausch, I believe. He says Murray cannot be considered a present danger to the public.
Yeah, which just infuriated the prosecutor, who said, how can you think that? I mean, the guy killed somebody for no reason.
And Pottawatomie County District Attorney Richard Smotherman, clearly not happy with this. In fact, he's asking for a change in the law, allowing a criminal defendant to be found guilty but insane.
Yes, and there's lots of reasons for that change. Victims' families often complain that person who took their loved ones away from them are not held accountable when they're able to be found not guilty by reason of insanity. And the other thing is that if the law is changed under Smotherman's idea, then the judge could tell an offender he has to stay either in treatment a certain time, or if he gets better, then go to prison and stay a certain time, instead of just being able to be released whenever a couple of doctors agree he's okay.
A couple of other elements that you reported in today's story. The psychiatrist Joseph Errico, he had the other side of this story. He said Murray should stay for treatment and to stabilize his mental illness. And then psychologist Sean Roberson also said he'd examined Murray before and that Murray suffers from a severe mental illness.
Yeah, they had two experts. One was the psychologist who said he's okay. The other was a psychiatrist who said he's not. And the judge ordered two more experts to look at him. One expert, Sean Roberson, has done it before, and I anticipate he will say he's mentally ill.
In fact, he said that Murray told him that everyone was a piece on a Japanese chessboard and that he was the king. All right, next turn of the crank on this deal?
The two doctors will examine Mr. Murray, and then we'll have a hearing in November.
Hearing set for November 5th. More coverage from Nolan Clay on this story. And Nolan, we appreciate your time today. Can be found in the Oklahoman and online at newsok.com.